Know you've been a good friend, and that's in the thick and thin. And I know it's never gonna end, 'cause you've been a good friend.
Sekali pakan ya Pak. Anu nih, ayamnya dan pakan.
Nah, ini lagi cerah.
Alhamdulillah aja kak ya.